Greetings, children of the screen, your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, and guys, did you know that they're doing Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a frickin' movie? Hell yeah! Scheduled for release in March of this year, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because of course it's called that, will follow Batman, Batgirl, and Robin forging an alliance with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to fight against their sworn enemy, the Shredder, who is apparently teamed up with Ra's al Ghul in the League of Assassins. Directed by Jake Castorina, known for Death of Superman, Justice League Action, Scooby-Doo, Batman, Brave and the Bold, and Batman Unlimited. With a screenplay penned by Marilyn Harper Grasser, known for Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Right Now Kapow, The New Looney Tunes, and Batman Unlimited. And the film will include a voice cast which includes Troy Baker, John DiMaggio, Cass Avner, Brian George, Carlos Alzerki, Darren Criss, Tara Strong, Rachel Bloom, Tom Kenny, and many more. Right on, guys, so if you can't tell, I'm pretty excited. Or at least, pretty excited. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, you might be able to tell. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever read the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books. There's actually 2 in this series, and I hear they're coming out with a 3rd one, and then they also did a version that is Batman the Animated Series crossed over with the most recent iteration of the Ninja Turtles. Not the one that's currently going, but the one that went for a few seasons before that was just canceled and replaced with, like, the one where they have energy weapons and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be based on this very loosely, from what I understand from the research I've done, which is awesome. Like, this book is full of everything you could want from a Ninja Turtles Batman crossover. Just, like, you get to see the Turtles fight Batman, you get to see Splinter fight Batman, you get to see Batman fight the Shredder, you get to see the Turtles fight a bunch of the different Batman villains. And from the trailer, it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of that. Again, it's going to be rated PG-13, so that does mean that they will be able to, you know, push the bounds a little bit in terms of the action and what they can do, which is awesome, because again, we've got the Foot Clan, we've got the League of Assassins, like, you just have all the ingredients that could make for an absolutely awesome movie. And on top of that, again, the dude who's directing this, I'm not going to try to, like, say his name because I'm just going to butcher it again, but that guy's put in some really quality work. Like, Justice League Action, and a lot of people haven't really watched it because it was very much sold as, like, a more kid-friendly show, so people assumed it'd be like Teen Titans Go, but that is not what it is. Like, that show is freaking great. It is, like, shorter, more comedic episodes, really intended for a younger audience, but unlike Teen Titans Go, like, they really managed to stay true to the essence of all the characters and give, like, really iconic iterations of those characters, bringing back a lot of the same voice cast that had done them throughout many, many different shows, like, just throughout DC, like, cartoon history. Anyway, we're not talking about Justice League Action, but he directed a few episodes of that. That show was great. He did the Batman, Brave and the Bold, and Scooby-Doo crossover, which is absolutely fantastic. Like, not to mention, he's been in the art department for DC on their animated films for, like, a long time. And that doesn't say a lot to some people, because a lot of those films aren't looked at very favorably, but the point is, the guy has the qualifications. He knows what he's doing. As for the writer, she's more of a mixed bag, where it's kind of like 50-50, where some of the stuff she's done I've really enjoyed, some of the stuff she's done I haven't really enjoyed so much, but I'm still leaning towards the more optimistic side, because again, out of the 2 volumes that I'm assuming they're basing these on, there's so much good stuff that I feel like it would be hard to come out of this with a story that's not at least fun and cool, even if it doesn't deliver all the things from the book that we would actually want to see. Like Michelangelo riding the giant dinosaur robot that Batman has in the Batcave. That happens in the book, and yes, that thing's a robot. Like, go back to the silly-ass stories from the 40s and 50s. Like, yeah, that thing's a robot. So anyway, I don't know if we're going to get all of that, but there's so much good stuff, it'd be hard not to come up with something that's pretty solid in terms of a story. And honestly, like, it's Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, all the crossovers with them I've read, they're stupid, they're silly, they are fun, and they are super awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not really expecting, like, a mature, like, gritty storyline. I just want something cool and fun, you know what I mean? And the voice cast of the movie is pretty solid. I have to admit that there are a lot of roles being filled by people who aren't necessarily my favorite voice actor for that role, but they still turn in, like, a solid performance each time they do it, so I'm not really upset about any of them. Obviously, there's more idealized versions of the voices for some of these characters that I would really like to have. Like, obviously, I always want Kevin Conroy as Batman. It's not like the ones that maybe you would think of as the most iconic voices, but I actually think that's probably going to help, like, put this in its own universe where, like, they can kind of play with the rules of the DC and the kind of Ninja Turtles continuity a little bit more. I think that's probably what they're going for. So, again, I think that the cast is really strong and it should work out for this movie. Beyond that, I am going to go into the things that I'm not so crazy about here in a minute, but first I want to say one other thing about what we see in the trailer in terms of things that are going to happen. There's a few things that I'm really excited about potentially seeing in this movie, and while I know I'm not going to get a bunch of them, there's at least one thing that is hinted at very highly in the trailer, and I need it so bad. So, in the trailer, there's a moment where Batman says to Damian and to Barbara, these were the most dangerous criminals in Gotham. And then we cut to, like, a big attack. Now, that's clearly, like, one part of a sentence that's taken out of context, but later on, we see a shot of Harley Quinn, voiced by Tara Strong, awesome, laughing her ass off with her hands on her head, almost like in the Joker Killing Joke type thing, as green stuff falls from what looks like water sprinklers above her. Now, for anyone who's read the book, they know that in the book, the Shredder basically takes the ooze and uses it on all of Batman's villains and makes these like crazy mutant animal Batman villains, and they're freaking awesome. Like, Mr. Freeze is a polar bear, Joker's a snake. Like, it's silly and stupid and freaking awesome, and I feel like that's what this is hinting at. Batman's basically being like, these were the most dangerous criminals in Gotham, and now look at them. They're batshit crazy now, and we gotta go kick their badass. I know that's a lot of bat puns, like, crammed into one little thing when I hadn't done any. I apologize, it's the last one. But anyway, that I am really super excited for. So now, real quick, let me talk about something that doesn't make me excited. The animation looks cheap and shitty. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, some of the times it looks okay, and, like, part of it's just the style they're using, but the style looks so cheap, and there are times in the trailer where they clearly are using that style to their advantage to create like very kind of like pop arty cool imagery, and that stuff looks great and like it's really nice. But at the same time, some of the character models in this movie are god awful. Batman is pretty iconic for the most part, but the colors that they're using for his costume are really kind of weird. Like, they're trying to harken back to a more classical Batman, but in none of the Batman Ninja Turtles crossovers has that been, like, the style, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the very weird off blue and, like, a very faded-looking gray. It just looks kind of dingy and not very, like, if you're gonna change the color and not do, like, dark and gritty, like, why don't you just make it, like, pop, you know what I mean? But anyway, like, it's not just that, like, there's a few spots where the animation looks good, but in general, like, it just looks so cheap, and especially the turtles. Oh my god, the turtles look like crap. Like, clearly they're going for, like, this. Like, they're clearly going for, like, this aesthetic for the turtles in terms of body form and, like, their facial structure and stuff like that, but they also have them like they are in this book, where they're real big and muscular, almost like the Michael Bay movies, but not so damn scary, more like the early 2000s cartoon that they had going on. So they're clearly trying to like blend those, and on top, when you mix that with like the very cheap looking animation style, you just get turtles that look boring and bland and kind of crappy, and that sucks. Like, I'm still excited for this movie, pretty excited. I still really want to see it, and I do believe that, like, within the confines of the kind of animation that they have, I'm sure they'll do cool things with it, and it'll be fun. But I do have to admit that, like, if this movie had a style even more akin to, like, the regular, like, Justice League straight-to-DVD animated movies, or, like, The Death of Superman and, like, The Reign of the Superman, even if it had an art style that seemed more, like, conducive to that, with a little bit, like, darker color palette, I think that this would look a lot better. Now again, I don't know exactly the tone they're going for, and maybe the tone they're going for better complements this art style. I'm not 100% sure. But what I can say is I'm definitely still going to see the movie at the end of this month whenever it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, and I will most likely have a video out for it. But guys, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for this movie? Were you excited for this movie before you saw the trailer and saw that art I'm talking about? And like, or are you just like me, where you're like, that kind of sucks, but I'm definitely still going to see this because all I really want is something that's cool and fun. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave a like, share it with some friends, all that shit. Thank you guys very much. Hope you all have a good one. Nerd Scum, out.